just never know. I called my granddaughter to make sure she was home okay, but you just never know. You go out in the morning, you don't never know if you're going to make it back.
It was 15 years ago, and if you were here in the DMV, you, like the rest of us, had to have been terrified. Welcome to Off Script. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Johnson. It was 2002, and somebody was traveling throughout the Washington suburbs and into the districts, and they were shooting innocent victims where they stood. Men, women, and children. 10 people in all were shot and killed over a 3-week period. Several others were wounded.
I have 2 kids, and I'm very nervous, you know. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for those people that died.
Shock, surprise. When you hear it, I was in a class this morning, they locked the building down. And of course, immediately my thoughts went to my family.
Well, I normally walk to school. I mean, I never thought anything like this would happen around our neighborhood, you know, so that's why I'm having my father drop me off from, you know, I guess until they catch him or until things calm down, I guess.
It's tragic because he was just a good man doing his job, keeping his word, and he was obviously in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I'll never forget that it was here.
We have a level of fear that we're not used to, but today it went down to the children. And whether it was the person that we're looking for or whether it was someone else, someone is so mean-spirited that they shot a child.
It's ridiculous. So we're scared of coming to work.
It makes you feel like you need your own protection, really and truly. Because by the time you call the police, the person's already gone and you're still the way he left you.
John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo were eventually arrested and tried for the sniper shootings. The 41-year-old Muhammad was executed in Virginia in 2009. Malvo was only 17 at the time. He was given multiple life without parole sentences in Virginia and Maryland. But Supreme Court decisions that have followed altered sentencing requirements for juvenile offenders. Malvo may now be entitled to a sentence short of life without parole. Maybe. The Supreme Court will review Malvo's original sentence sometime in the fall.
All right, so I seen this one and I was like, yep, let me go ahead and see what this is about. We on WUSA Channel 9 News. I live in the DMV, so I definitely wanted to see what was up. Is you getting out, sir? I need to know where you're going to be at all times. DC sniper case 20 years later. Maryland courts hear arguments for Lee Boyd Malvo's chance at parole. Lee Boyd Malvo was 18 when sentenced to life in prison without parole, but a Supreme Court ruling and a Maryland law passed in 2021 could change that. We appreciate you, Laura Geller and Victoria Duggar. You ain't related to the Duggars, is you? Do the Duggars got people? Oh, okay. Never mind. This is brought to you on the 9th of February, so we're a little late, but we still in time. Montgomery County, Maryland. I live in Maryland, y'all, so I'm scared. We got to find out. Oral arguments begin Tuesday in D.C. Why I say Montgomery County? I'm confused. Sniper Lee Boyd Malvo's quest to seek either sentencing relief or release under a Maryland law that applies to prisoners who were convicted as juveniles and also because of U.S. Supreme Court precedent. But it could be months before Maryland judges make a decision on whether to grant Malvo's request. Where you trying to go, sir? What you trying to do? I just want to know. I just got questions because I think I should be on the parole board too. A couple of us, who live here. We want to be there too. We want to have some decisions. Malvo, who turns 37. Oh, he almost my age. Oh yeah, you know what? I graduated high school in 2002 at 17, and he did this when he was 17 in 2002. So I just realized we the same age. Okay, appreciate you. Malvo, who turns 37 on February the 18th, was sentenced to multiple life terms after he pleaded guilty to killing to the killing of 6 random people in Montgomery County in October 2002. He was 18 when he was convicted for his role alongside John Allen Muhammad in the sniper spree that terrorized the D.C. region. Together, the pair killed 10 people and wounded 3 in Maryland, Virginia, Virginia, and the District of Columbia. Others were killed as the pair made their way to the D.C. region from Washington State. Oh, they was from Washington State. I don't know why I thought they was from somewhere near D.C. kind of thing. Muhammad was executed in 2009. Tuesday, a lawyer for Malvo and an attorney for the state argued before Maryland's Court of Appeals. Malvo's lawyer told the 7-judge panel life sentences without the possibility of parole are unconstitutional and violate Maryland law. An attorney for the state wants the court to deny the request partly because of the gravity of the crimes and Malvo's willingness to participate. I'm glad that they actually said that, because the biggest reason that I'm reading this story is because with all of the cases and the things that happen now, does no one think that he was groomed? He was 17. Did he have the traits? Was he another Ethan Crumbly? Like, would he have done this without Muhammad's influence? Like, would he have done any kind of killing on his own? That's what I wonder. Like, now everybody is treated with a golden glove, and they've recognized a lot of other things, and they see that people can be manipulated into doing things. And they're taking that into account. So I wonder if that is going to be taken into account on this. He was underage, and this man probably groomed him from a very, very, very young age. So I'm not on the side of him not getting parole at all, to be honest. I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now. I'm definitely saying they need to figure it out. Like they said, he's easily influenced. He was, at least. But this man is 37 now, and he has been under the care of the Institute for how long? And the whole point of going to jail is to be rehabilitated. So what we've been doing? Y'all been working on anything that y'all want to talk to the rest of the class about? That's all I want now. In 2012, a U.S. Supreme Court ruling found mandatory life sentences without parole for juvenile offenders violate the 8th Amendment and are unconstitutional. Maryland's General Assembly abolished life without parole for use last year, overriding a veto by Governor Larry Hogan. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all, because I understand some kids have done some bad shit, and I say this now, because my story might change if some kids do some bad shit, to me. But they be young, and to literally have to serve your whole man. Sometimes they be just growing up in rough spots. They be seeing that shit every day, and people don't realize like I said, you when it's directly groomed and stuff like that, when a man take advantage of a little girl and stuff. But these little young boys that be in the hood, this is what they see every day, all day. So for them to turn out like that, especially because there's so many of them, and it's a lot of weak-minded. Like they said, he was willing to go with it. A lot of them just want to fit in, and there is nothing else to do. I don't know why everyone acts like, I'm just going to talk about Baltimore, of course, because that's the only one that I know about. I only lived here. Baltimore has absolutely nothing. There are no rec centers even open anymore. Pre-COVID, there's nothing for them to do. So hang out on the streets and, man, yeah, things don't always go right. Malvo was also sentenced to life without parole in the Virginia killings, but the Commonwealth passed similar legislation in 2020. He is still behind bars there, but because of the new law, he could theoretically be up for parole review this year. Be up for a parole review, I guess. The National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers has filed an amicus brief. I need to look up and see what that is. I keep hearing that word. I don't know what it is. In the case in support of Malvo, asserting the issues presented in the case are of paramount importance to criminal defense attorneys throughout the country and the clients they represent. It claims the Maryland's Juvenile Offender Act actually constitutionally contradicts the U.S. Supreme Court ruling, and he should be resentenced to be afforded the relief from the 2012 ruling. Okay, they just want to resentence. I get it now because it's constitutionally contradicting. I gotcha. The NACDL outlined potential remedies if Malvo's sentence is found to be unconstitutional. In light of the U.S. Supreme Court's Supreme Court's 2012 ruling, Miller versus Alabama. If this ruling is found to have been violated, states across the country either have made juvenile offenders eligible for parole or have ordered resentencing. Yeah, they definitely gonna resentence them instead of putting them right up for parole, I'm sure. And then they'll start with the parole fresh in like 20 years. Yeah. I wonder what in the world gonna happen with this one. The Criminal Defense Lawyers Group further asserts that Maryland's Juvenile Restoration Act is constitutionally inadequate to cure sentences that violate the 2012 Miller ruling, saying that juveniles' life without parole sentences that violate Miller should simply be void as a matter of law. JUVRA does not void a sentence. Rather, it lets a juvenile offender who has been in prison for at least 20 years file a court motion up to 3 times in an attempt to receive a reduced sentence. The amicus brief from the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers states Malvo's sentence violate the 8th Amendment, and JUVRA does not cure the constitutional violation. He must be resentenced to remedy these violations. That's what it seemed like. I mean, I understand parole or resentences, but it does seem like because they changed that. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm a little bit slow, but I'm catching on to what they mean, what they have been talking about. I understand. It's answering some of my questions is what I'm saying. I swear I've not seen any photos of this man where he does not look exactly like this. He looks like a shell of a person. He looks like missing or broken. Like there's not. Yeah, he really looks like this man created this person, and once they were, not to say they were inseparable, but once he did not have the person to follow anymore, he seemed like he just is lost. He seemed like, I don't know. He definitely seemed like he was traumatized by this and will never be the same, will never be a normal, regular person. And I'm not saying he should be. I'm not taking the blame away from him. I'm just pointing out things that I feel. A key factor in the Miller ruling is the consideration of the development of a juvenile offender's brain and the potential for rehabilitation. The Supreme Court considered discoveries in neuroscience and declared children are different when it comes to determining constitutional sentencing law. Yeah, so you mean to tell me if his brain ain't right, or if you don't think he can be rehabilitated, he can't get out? That don't really make no sense. I mean, I understand it in theory. I'm agree with you. But if y'all take an x-ray of his brain and it don't look right, he can't get out. I don't understand that. But the ruling determined that life without parole sentences are unconstitutional for those juvenile offenders who are not permanently incorrigible. The court's term ends in June. There is no exact time frame for judges to issue their decision in Malvo's case, but the court says all opinions are to be completed by August the 31st. Well, you better keep an eye out. Some stuff gonna happen. Never know. Might get parole. I don't know. I don't think he will. I think this gonna be one of the ones that he just gonna be locked up forever. I think people gonna come out every time he have a parole hearing, if he ever does get to that point. So yeah, I don't think so. But I do feel like he was super young, and if you look at a lot of the stuff that goes on now, anytime Ethan Crumbley's parents can be blamed partially be blamed, then I feel like a lot of this can be put on the person who was in charge, the person who made all the decisions, and maybe they should reevaluate. But who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I hope this was a nice little blast from the past. I don't know why I say stuff like nice. It's about murdering and killing, but I hope you enjoyed it, I guess. I don't know.